Here we are again. You squeeze through a narrow cave full of assorted rock columns. A sudden shaking causes you to stumble, and you look up at the ceiling of the cavern. Stalactites are hanging from the ceiling, but it looks like they're about to fall at any second. Suddenly, one falls directly in front of you and shatters to the ground. Better run through quickly before you get crushed. Now we gotta test our skills. Too bad we lost 2 of them. Come on. Let's do it. Clumsy. Ugh. You needed a score of 7 or under, and rolled a 9. Stumble near the end of the cave. Dashing across the cave, you stumble as you make it to the other side. The last of the stalactites shatter across your head, sending you tumbling to the ground. Oh, that's not... Oh! Yeah, that's bad. Whew, that's bad. Shaking your head, rubbing it gingerly from the falling rocks, you get up and walk to the cavern exit. With a concussion, I'm sure. A bottomless pit plummets deeper into the mountain. A narrow stone path leads to the other side, but stretched across it is a gigantic spider web. You can see some unfortunate victims dotted across the web, wrapped up in silken thread. Clearly this web is still occupied. Hopefully you can make it across the web before the occupants return. Or I could just not do it? Huh? Just go back the other way? No? You begin to cross the webbing. As you are halfway across, you hear an unpleasant skittering. Firetop spiders. You must make it to the other side quickly. Test your skill. Hey, skillful! You need a score of 7 and you rolled a 6. Escape the firetop spiders. Scrambling across the sticky webbing, you make it to the other side. One of the firetop spiders tries to sink its fangs into you as you clamber off the webbing. Thankfully, you make it off the webbing in the nick of time. Quickly, you draw your weapon and cut the thick strands from the side of the pit. The rest of the web cannot hold the amount of spiders on it, and begins to drift back towards the other side of the pit. The firetop spiders give a shriek of surprise and tumble into the inky blackness below. Let's leave this place. You enter a large cavern with a natural pool of water. Stalagmites have formed naturally, rising from the floor. There are a number of exits, some of which are blocked. While you have surveyed the area, you have failed to notice the 3 firetop spiders which are now almost on top of you. Their mandibles glisten as they close in, eager for a feast. Let's fight some spiders. Well, at least it's not as big as the other one. Let's just attack and see what their attack patterns are like. Oh, that's... And I bet I can't move now either. I got them, that's nice. Yeah, I can't move. Ooh. I guess they run backwards from where they're pointing. No, I guess they just have random movement. But we made it through, luckily enough. But our stamina's not doing well. You've defeated the Firetop spiders. With the Firetop spiders dealt with, you put away your weapon and decide where to go next. There are multiple tunnels leading off, with some that appear blocked. The east passage is covered with thick webs, and there appears to be movement inside. I'm not the biggest fan of spiders, so I'll probably avoid the passage for now. So the passage east is covered with thick webs. Let's go south. As you enter the cavern, you hear loud footsteps behind you, crunching heavily on the rocky floor. You crouch down beside the entrance in a small alcove. The steps get louder, and you see a great orc enter the cavern. He stands over 2 meters tall and is dressed in ill-fitting garments made from some sort of hide. He carries a large wooden club. This creature will provide a great training opportunity. Attack him as he enters. Try to creep out without him noticing. Oh, so we had a potion of invisibility, but we couldn't read it, so we don't know. Try to distract him by throwing something. Let's attack him. You draw your weapon, and as you do, the orc hears you and prepares to fight. Prepares to attack, but you know, it's the same thing. Okay. Let's just attack and find out what his movement is. One slow movement. Let's move out of the way just in case. Move again. I've already forgotten what his attack is like, what his movement's like. It's like 2 in front. We're not in a great way. We're gonna just have to attack him head on. Let's try Blade Swarm. No, Storm. Oh, we lost that clash. But we can't really get out of the way here. Oh boy. Guys, I think this might be the end. You're overcome by your enemies. We have been defeated. Oh dear, it looks like the mountain has claimed yet another victim. Would you like to use a resurrection stone and return Aaron Godspeed to the last resting bench you encountered? Yes, I want my hero to be resurrected. You sit down on a bench. So we just had a horrible premonition. Let's, head down the path to the east. You follow the path to the east. Soon enough, you arrive at a broad but cracked stone bridge, which leads over a yawning subterranean chasm. On the other side of the bridge, you can see an archway carved to resemble a huge dwarven head. With no other options, you start to cross the bridge. No sooner have you taken a few steps than the floor begins to crumble. Break into a run to avoid the crumbling floor. Oh, we're clumsy. Tumble into the darkness. You feel like you're falling for some distance before you finally splash down into icy cold water. You quickly rise to the surface, coughing up lungfuls of cold, rank-tasting water. The current curries you forward, and looking ahead, you see that the water is being drawn down into a sucking whirlpool. The whirlpool pulls you under and into the churning darkness. You struggle to hold your breath as the current buffets you, knocking you against the rocky walls of the river's course. Skillful, you fight against the incredible current. Just when you think you can't hold your breath any longer, you feel yourself rising. Your head breaks the surface again and you gulp down great lungfuls of air. You are carried through another high-roofed cavern from the river's outflow. By the dim glow lighting the cavern around you, you make your way up onto the rocky ledge to your right. Let's swim. Grabbing hold of a jutting outcrop, you take a moment to recover your breath before pulling yourself onto the ledge. The ledge narrows and there is no way for you to continue along it. To your left, the river races away towards distant daylight. Just as you are considering your options, your ears are beset by a high-pitched shrieking, and a flock of bats descend from the roof above to drive you from their cave home. Well, this could have been better. I'm just going to attack and see. I'm going to just try and move out of the way and see if that doesn't... Oh. Probably could have done a double thing there, but maybe we can do it here. That was a mistake. I forgot that you move forward. We're triumphant. Defeated the bats. When you have slain many of their numbers, the bats break off their attack and return to the roosts in the roof of the cave. You have no choice but to dive back into the water and see where the current takes you. I think it's probably a good idea to use up one of our provisions. And we'll just hold off for a little bit. Hopefully we can find some place to rest. I really like this. This is such a neat way to tell the story. The current deposits you on a sandy bank. As you get to your feet, you look around and find yourself a large cave with damp walls. There is also a strange, unpleasant slime oozing out of the cracks in the walls. I think that's enough swimming for one day. Another challenge awaits, it seems. You start to search the cave for a way out when suddenly, shapes emerge from the slimy walls. 3 slime zombies, cadavers of unfortunate adventurers, now animated mindlessly by the slime they are encased in. As you draw your weapon to defend yourself, a horrifying slime worm appears from within the slime to join the ambush. Gross. Now, I think we've fought slime zombies before, but I do not remember what their attacks are like. So I'm just gonna get out of the way just in case. Alright. Gonna have to do a clash. Oh, he hits from afar. That's not great. Well, at least we killed him. Alright, we're gonna have to attack him head on. Oh, no. We're not gonna be able to avoid that. Wow. Okay, wow. Whew. That was close. We almost died. Again. With the hard slime worm and slime zombies disposed of, you can look for a way out of this dangerous cavern. But first, you decide to check the creatures for spoils. The slime worm has nothing as you expect, but as you search the sticky, slime-covered bodies of the slime zombies, you discover a few useful items. Firstly, some gold pieces, and secondly, a potion of skill. You clean the excess goop from these things and stow them into your pack. Tracing your fingers across the edge of the cave, you find a hidden crack that you hadn't noticed before, which leads to a widening passageway. Alright, let's... I think I'm gonna have to use up those provisions. We're out of provisions. And I think we're gonna have to call it there for today. Thanks for joining me.